this, short course YMCA National Swimming Championships. Ladies and gentlemen, in the bleachers, I know you will raise your rise, so I ask if you would please rise at this time. This evening's reflection will be presented by an athlete who is a senior swimmer from Utah. That's her affectionate name. The YMCA, the Triangle area right here in North Carolina. He'll be swimming the 100 fly, 200 fly, 400 IM, and 200 IM this week. He loves the fly, he said.
I think you said the too far. Yes, I can't wait. And he's looking at becoming a computer engineering major at Georgia Tech. So I'm going to turn it over to Cam Morris for this afternoon's reflection.
Thank you. Earn the right to try. That was a mantra I made for myself 3 years ago. And YMCA swimming is where I learned what it really means. When I first set my sights on qualifying for the week and all come here for today, I thought it meant one thing: outwork everyone, early mornings, every practice set, no excuses. Leave it all in the water after every practice. But meet after meet, the cuts slipped away, and the harder I pushed alone, the more the joy drained out the sport I love, and I started to doubt if I wanted to continue swimming. Then came long course match in Ocala. In 2024, I finished my 2 fly, which was a failure again in my eyes. Another blink on my timeline of close misses. My teammates, however, met me with high fives, positivity, pointing out the reasons for improvement or reasons for celebration. That moment changed everything for me. I realized earning the right to try isn't about doing everything you possibly can to achieve your goals, but rather about giving everything you have to the people next to you every day. Feel the talk about it. For years, I've heard that our team was a family. That cliche turned into a reality in that year. But standing here today, those times are not what I'm most proud of. I'm proud of what this community became, a place where camaraderie and community keeps bringing us back and making us stronger. So my challenge to every one of you out here is remember your teammates' swim is better than your own, and congratulate them after everything. Thank you.
Thank you, Kim. As we have brought the reflection every night, if you please remain standing if you are able, ladies and gentlemen, as we honor our country, the United States of America, and those that serve to protect our freedoms, with the playing of our national anthem. men's 200 medley relay championship record 128.63 set 2024 Greater Wisconsin. All Piedmont holds your national record at 126.21. This will be heat number 1 of 10. Referee.
And on the women's course, women's 200-yard medley relay championship record and national record. Set in 2023, 139.09. Schrader, Wisconsin, 8 heats in total. Mr. Referee. And we are underway. That's Beluia. Good swim right there. 48.80 right now. Center of the pool for Piedmont. And over on the women's side. Nice out. Quinn Chebek from Springfield, Illinois. Men's course will be finishing up here. Momentarily, heat number 1 of 10. Big lead right there for Piedmont. And it'll be 20.83 on the anchor right there, 132.32. Great anchor for Jake Sims. And over on the men's side, this is heat number 2 of 10. On the women's side, heat number 2 of 8. Top time on the men's side, unofficially 132.32. Piedmont. And on the women's side, that was Springfield, Illinois, going 149.58. Well, your time to beat. time 28:09 on the breaststroke on the women's side. And over on the guys' side for the Ridley Rays, that's a 1:13.95. Patrick Hines for the Rays. And finish it up on the men's side. It'll be Ridley at 1:34.88. Once again, top time 1:32.32 over on the men's side. Piedmont. Men's course, heat number 3 of 10. And out first right there, Dittmer at 23.85. Center of the pool for Summit Family. On the women's side, heat number 3 of 8. Top time on the women's side, Piedmont, 1:42.87 coming out of the previous heat. And on the back, great swim right there. Mackenzie Ford at 25.68. Men. Wow, switch it over. How about Gray Rieger from the Rays? Good sprint right there. Greater Johnstown, your leader on the women's side, and over on the guys' side. Well, lane 6, Upper Palmetto. Gray Rieger with that breaststroke is strong. Going to be Upper Palmetto, 1:36.19. For the Ridley Rays here on the women's side out of lane 1. Heat number 4 of 8 for the women. Top time remains Piedmont, 142.87. Ridley was 145.87 out of the previous heat. Sits number 2. Even field here on the women's side. Out of heat number 4 on the men's side. Heat number 4 now in the water. Good swim there by Team Kinloo. That's a great swim right there, 25.73 for Greater Somerset County. Your leader, and on the guys' side, that's Kelty. Right there at a 23.30 on the back. That's the Hickory Foundation Y, and Greater Somerset County on the anchor going 23.1, 146.64. Number 5 of 8 on the women's side in the water. Your top time remains Piedmont, 142.87. And on the men's side, heat number 5 of 10 in the water. Here on the women's side right now, your leaders. Heat number 5, Upper Palmetto. The flyer in the water. Bill Coladas leading the way, and over on the men's side. He'll be out first on the back. Don't see it. I'm sure they're getting those times inside. Women's heat. Go Upper Palmetto. Adeline number 4. William Meehan in there. Sergeant Hart out of 5. But it's Upper Palmetto, 23.88 on the anchor, 145.93. Another moves into second before our circle seated heats. In the water right now on the women's course. Heat number 6 of 8, first of our 3 circle seated heats. Women's 200-yard medley relay. Looks like Claire Pilger out first. And she is at 25.83 for Claire Pilger. Stevens Point, Wisconsin. Top 16 advance. Emma Price, nice swim right there. Jersey Shore, now your leaders. Nasher was second there. Time to beat on the women's course, 142.87. Amira Washington, now moving up Wilton. That'll be Jersey Shore. Heat 7 of 8, second of our 3 circle seated heats in the water for the women's 200-yard medley relay. Top time remains with Piedmont, 142.87. Just over meet record pace off the backstroke. Zoe Hill. Westport Weston. Now your leader on the women's side, halfway through it, 55-18. Followed by York. And then the Cheshire Y Sea Dogs. York now moving up. Allison Stalford, York, Westport, Cheshire. We get to 142.87. Piedmont on the deck. Very close heat here. Final heat, third of our three-circle seated heats for the women's 200-yard Medley relay. Your top time, 142.87, Piedmont out of heat number 1. And over on the men's side, heat 6 of 10 in the water. Piedmont has your time there, 132.32. Oh, big back short swim right here. 25.14 going out for Greater Milwaukee. Under meet record pace for the YMCA Metro Milwaukee. Anchors in for the guys up there. Cheshire was 144.81. Piedmont 142.87. Men's side, heat number 7. Top time remains 132.32. Piedmont out of heat number 1. And finish it up there on the women's side. That was a 142.07 for YMCA Metro Milwaukee. We'll have those results out here momentarily. We'll read those, and we'll see who made the top 16. It'll swim tomorrow night. Wasco for Greater Somerset County, 109.65 right there for the Storm. Got a second over national record. And here's Greater Somerset County, 1975 on the end. Great swim there. Wasco, and they go 129.40. About 0.8 of a second off national record. First of our three circle-seated heats in the water for the men's 200-yard medley relay. 23:58. Nice swim there for the Chambersburg Chargers. Amir Tasker. Time to be 129.40 out of the previous heat. Okay. Time is only 0.8 of a second off of record pace. Upper main line, 48.92. Now your leader. Billy back in. Followed by Yoda. And then the Blue Ridge. Upper main line at 1. 4:15 will be our start for the 1,000 on the men's side. 4:15, only about 9 minutes to go. The coach from York to the admin room, please. York to the deck referee. Coach from York to the deck referee, please. Thank you. Men's heat number 1, a 1,000-yard freestyle. To the ready room, please. Men's heat number 1, to the ready room, please. Coach from York to the admin room. Thank you. Once again, heat number 1 of the boys, or the men's 1,000-yard freestyle. To the ready room, please. Thank you. Heat number 1. Men's 1,000 to the ready room, please. Thank you. All right, bring him out, bring him out, bring him out, bring him out. All right, let's hear it for those 1,000-yard freestylers, heat number 1 on the men's side. "1,000 yards of freestyle for the men. Heat number 1, championship and national record 8:50, 29, set back in 2019. Ross Dant, Hickory, North Carolina. Let's meet our athletes. Swimming out of lane number 1, he was 4th in the 500, 6th in the 1650 last year from Piedmont, Eli Rutherford. Lane number 2, he was 6th in the 1,000 last year. He'll be a terrier at Boston University in the fall from Greater Somerset County, John Iodice. Lane number 3, he was 7th last year from Chambersburg, Cullen McGraw. Lane number 4, 4th in the 1,000, 5th in the 500, and 6th in the 200 free last year. He'll be part of the midshipmen this fall. Thank you, as part of the United States Naval Academy from Piedmont, Will Charlton. Lane number 5, 2nd in the 1,000 last year, 6th in the 500, 4th in the mile last year. He'll be part of the tribe at William and Mary this fall from Piedmont, Braden King. Swimming out of lane number 6. He was 5th last year in this event from Kennett Jennersville, Pennsylvania, Kyle Burke. Lane number 7, 9th in the mile, 9th in the 500, and 9th in the 1,000 last year from Fanwood, Scotch Plains, New Jersey, Harrison McClure. And in lane number 8, he was 13th in the mile, 22nd in this event last year, from Yoda, Blake Zimmerman. 1,000 yards of freestyle for the men. Heat number 1, referee. Please welcome heat number 1 for the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. Swimming out of lane number 1 from Piedmont, Sedona King. Out of lane number 2, 3rd in this event last year. She's going to be a Hawkeye at the University of Iowa in 2027. From Oshkosh, Kirsten Dietschweiler. Out of lane number 3, and he's 10th in the mile last year, from Lynchburg, Virginia, Broughton Webb. Coming out of lane number 4, she was 2nd in this event last year, She'll be a Hoosier at IU, Indiana University. From the YMCA Metropolitan Milwaukee, Ann Dickinson. Lane number 5, our defending champion at this event. Also won the 500 and the mile last year from Piedmont, Megan Ayers. Lane number 6, first time at Short Course Nationals, was 13th in the mile and 25th in the 800 at Long Course. From Spartanburg, South Carolina, Eva Lyle. Coming out of lane number 7, fourth in the 1,000. She'll be a Husky at Northeastern University in the fall. From the Upper Mainline YMCA, Morgan Harlan. And out of lane number 8, fifth in the 1,000, 16th in the 200, 11th in the 500, 8th in the mile. She'll be a Towson University Tiger this fall. From Ridley, Pennsylvania, Sarah McCann. Heat number 1, women's 1,000-yard freestyle. Mr. Referee. All right, we got the thousands in the water. I'm going to read you some preliminary results. On the women's side, our alternate relay team for the women's 200-yard medley relay is Yoda, tied for 16th. Pal Crosley Jr. in Greater Somerset County. Eligible to swim in the B final, Northwest North Carolina, Fanwood Scotch Plains, Upper Palmetto, Wilton, Ridley, Champaign County, and Upper Main Line. Eligible to swim in tomorrow evening's championship final for the women's 200-yard medley relay. York and York County, Westport Weston, Cheshire, Jersey Shore, Greater Spartanburg, Lakeland Hills, Piedmont, and your top qualifiers of Maggie Dickinson, Kamasa, King, and Miller. They were 142.07. YMCA Metropolitan Milwaukee. Your time is 4:24. 30 minutes to declare your intentions to scratch. And over on the men's side, (200-yard medley relay). Your alternates, Lynchburg and Virginia's Blue Ridge. Eligible to swim in the B final. Geneva Lakes, Chambersburg, Jersey Shore, Yoda, Fanwood Scotch Plains, Pal Crosley, and Cheshire. Tied for 8th. The Wilton Waiwahoos, York and York County, Piedmont, Upper Mainline, Champaign County, Reading and Berks County, YMCA Metropolitan Milwaukee, Greater Somerset County, and your top qualifiers, team of Turness, Harmon, Beeson, and Smith. They were 129.95. Greater Spartanburg, the time is 4:25. You have 30 minutes to declare your intentions to scratch. The top heat on the guy's side. Right now we've got Charlton, King, and Burke. On the girls' side, we've got Ann Dickinson, the leading. Megan Ayers, our defending champion. Dickinson was second in this event last year. Over on the guys' side, as I mentioned, Will Charlton, your leader, fourth last year. He'll be out in June, I imagine, head to the military academy. Burke second, King third. Braden King was second last year. Kyle Burke fifth last year. And we'll see where we are. We are 20 lengths through, halfway through on the women's side. Dickinson at 4:49 at the 500. Now, Ann Dickinson, 5:18 through 5:50. Last year, 5:24, well ahead of her swim from last spring. And on the guys' side, Kyle Burke moving up. And I hear the bell for Kyle from Kennett, Pennsylvania. Kyle Burke head to the wall. And it'll be 24:77 coming home for Kyle Burke, followed by Charlton and Cullen McGraw from Chambersburg. Great swim, gentlemen. Big swims over your times last year. Some personal best. As they go 1, 2, 3 out of heat number 1. And in the water, men's 1,000-yard freestyle, heat number 2. Finishing up here on the women's side. We're over 3/4 of the way through. We'll have 200 to go. And Dickinson at 7:46. 26. Through 800. About 9 seconds ahead of her swim from last year, where she was 9:57. And we get her down into the mid 940s or lower. Less than 100 to go on the women's course. For Ann Dickinson, the future IU Hoosier. Ann Dickinson going up to that 9:50 mark. Last year she was 9:27. Dickinson at 9, she's 10 seconds ahead of her pace from last year. Get her down into that 9:45, 46 mark. Here she comes. Dickinson followed by Ayers. And it will be Ann Dickinson. 29:48 on that final 50. 9:46:51. Starting us off, comes in with that 9:47. So she lowers that. Great swim there. Followed by Ez at 9:59. All right, top time on the women's side, Ann Dickinson, Metro Milwaukee, 9:46:51. And over on the guys' side, your leader on the deck, 9:07:23 for Kyle Burke from Kennan, Pennsylvania. Number 2 and 9 in the water for the men. Soon enough, they'll be halfway through heat number 2. Damien Ofenadakis in lane number 1. He was 52nd in this event last year. He's up to heat number 2. Augie Newberry's in 2, 36 last year. Riley Burke, 11th last year. He's in 3. Brady Gallagher, 18th last year. He's in 4. William Keenan, 24th last year, he's in 5. Ace Garcia, 15th last year, he's in 6. Gavin Charkala, he's in lane number 7. He was 58th last year, definitely moving up. And Ethan White, 21st last year, he's in 7. I mentioned that William Keenan is headed off to the University of Wisconsin in Milwaukee, where he'll be a Panther. On the guide side, they are just over halfway through, pretty tight. And out of 4, it's Gallagher from upper main line. He's your leader, a little over halfway through. And on the women's course, Amanda Lotson 1, Megan Simpson 2. Michaela Ellis, 7th last year. She's off to Boston University to be a Terrier. She's in 3. Ellie McNamara, off to be a Richmond Spider soon. She's in lane 4. Ellison Charette, 10th last year in this event in 5. Whitney Kane in 6, 8th last year. And Margaret Holt, 17th last year's in 7. And Susan Seeley, she's swimming out of lane number 8. Up there in lane number 1, we're going to keep our eye on Orfanadakis. On the guys' side, Damien, the 14-year-old from York and York County, now your leader on the men's side, followed by Garcia, then Gallagher. We'll get to this wall. They'll have 300 to go. 28 lengths through, 12 lengths to go for the men. And your women's side, Kayla Ellis, I mentioned 7th last year, early here in this 2. Your leader, split in the 30s, lots of 30s up there on the women's side. So Ellis at 3:31.61. We'll see where Damien this is at this point. He's 7:31.89. All right, 450 through on the women's side. Bill Ellis trying to move up is Charette from Greenwich. And on the guys' side, it's 8:00.06 for Fanadakis, followed by Garcia and then Gallagher. And halfway through for the women, it's still Ellis, but not far behind. Since Charette from Greenwich, only 7/100 separating these two athletes on the women's side as they push past the halfway mark. Well, Fanadakis on the guys' side comes in at 9:37. He takes the bell. He'll be well below that. Last year he was 9:31. This year, well under that mark through 9:50. And we'll see where Damien heads into up there in lane number 1 on the men's side. Good finish, Damien. Fanadakis, he goes 9:23. Wow. Well, Fanadakis leads the way in heat number 2. Yeah, 14 seconds drop in that seed time for Damien. And he's followed up by Garcia and then Gallagher. Heat 3 in for the guys. And heat number 2 of 6 for the women. Allison Charette. Greenwich, Connecticut. 7:07.41. Through the 650. She's last year 7:12. Pretty nice drop. Also stated, here comes McNamara. And up there, lane number 2, Simpson. Couple of upper mainliners. Trying to chase down the Greenwich Marlin. McNamara, soon to be a Richmond Spider. Simpson, 14 years old. Over on the guys' side, heat number 3, Nate Gonzalez in 1, Ben Charlton 2. Max Kelty was 26 last year, he's in 3. Ben Tungate will be a Greyhound at Loyola of Maryland in the fall, he's in 4. Will Bickley in 5. Henry Smith 6. Gray Rieger, Upper Palmetto, he's in 7. And Matthew Barnacle, 32nd last year in this event, he is in lane number 8. How about the youngster, the 14-year-old Megan Simpson, 29.97 with 150 to go. Simpson now your leader, followed by Charette and McNamara. We have 100 to go on the women's side. Charette trying to chase down Simpson. Well, Megan Simpson takes the bell. 29.84, outsplitting the field again. Smith, your leader on the guy side. So Simpson, Charette, McNamara. Look at this, Megan Simpson. Simpson comes in at 10:18, and she will be around 10:07. How about that, Megan Simpson? Great swim out of heat number 2 on the women's side. 10:07 with a nice PB. Big drop right there for the 14-year-old from Upper Mainline. Nice swim, ladies. Heat 3 of 6 in the water. Your top time so far, 9:46.51. And Dickinson from Metro Milwaukee. Over the guide side, your top time is a 9:07.23. Kyle Burke from Kennett. And on the guy's side right now, coming up to the 500 mark, the halfway mark. Henry Smith from Piedmont, your leader. Henry comes in with a seed time of 9:41.30. Looks like he'll be below that tonight, the way he's going. And here are your swimmers in heat number 3 of 6 on the women's side. 1,000 yards of freestyle. Lane number 1, Alyssa Detweiler. Claire Mages is in 2. Maddie Barker 3, Heidi Ross 4. Annie Rhodes is in 5. Sorry, I'm a heat ahead of myself. Here we go, heat number 3, not 4. Etta Yonke is in 1. Audrey Burkhart, 31st last year, she's in 2. Mariah Quad in 3. Kylie Heaton, 14th last year, is in 4. Ilani Silva, she's in 5. Taylor Woodruff, 17th last year, is in 6. Catherine Simpson should be off to Duquesne University to be a Duke. She's in 7. And Lily Kirk in 8. Once again, that's heat number 3 of 6 on the women's 1,000. Over on the guys' side, still Smith. Henry Smith from Piedmont. And then in lane number 4, looks like Will Bickley from the Shirts YMCA. You don't want to miss it. There's a couple of swim-offs coming up. And that'll be held after the 800 free relay. Smith still your leader at 6:06:39 for Piedmont. On the men's side. And early on the women's side, it's Keilani Silva from Upper Main Line. Silva. 2 seconds over the field up there in lane number 1 at a Yankee from Oshkosh. Having a good swim. And on the guy's side, still Smith. Smith at 8:02:44. Leading the way, followed by Tungate. Then Tungate, as I mentioned, off to be a Greyhound at Loyola, Maryland. And then Charlton, Ben Charlton from Piedmont, he's running third. So Piedmont running 1-3 in heat number 3. Again, top time on the guys' side, 9:07:23, Kyle Burke. And over on the women's side, they'll be coming up to the halfway mark. Well, your lead swimmer still remains Henry Smith through the 950. Here we go. 50 to go on the men's side. Henry Smith. 29 on that last 50. And for Tungate, running second. But Henry Smith, Damian Orfanadakis was 9:23:70. He took the previous heat, but not far behind. Here's Henry Smith going 9:24:71. And over to guys' side heat, number 4 in the water. Women, 28 lengths through. got Max Tungate in 1, Jack Clark 2, Toby Matulis in 3, Isaac Knapp 4, Jack Ackerman in 5, Jack Suggs DeSorbo in 6, Brady Fredonier in 7, and Matt Schomaker in lane number 8. The Tungate was 9:24 out of the previous heat. Funadakis 9:23.70. We will be presenting the awards for the thousands tonight. So 75 to go for our leader, just about all of the way here. Keilani Silva from Upper Main Line, YMCA, beautiful Berwyn, Pennsylvania, takes the bell. And it will be Keilani. Great swim right there for Silva. At a 10:15.72. And she's followed up by Kirk and then Yankee. Look down here in lane number 8, Lily Kirk, another upper mainliner. And Yankee from Oshkosh, Wisconsin. Those are your top 3 out of heat number 3. And over on the men's side, that's Suggs DeSorbo in 6 and Ackerman in 5. Jack Suggs DeSorbo from Piedmont. Jack Ackerman from Farmington Valley. And running third is Max Tungate from Piedmont. About 7/10 of a second separating these two athletes as they work their way past the halfway mark. early on here in the women's heat. 4 of 6, we've got Alyssa Detweiler in lane number 1, Claire Mages. She's in 2, Maddie Barker in 3, Heidi Ross 4, Annie Rhodes 5, Poppy Fishburne lane number 6, Jenna Whitaker 7, and Mary Green is in lane number 8. Ackerman and Tungate on the guy's side. Not much separating those two. About a quarter of a second. Max Tungate, Jack Ackerman. Jack Ackerman of Farmington Valley, Connecticut. And on the women's side, Mary Green from Foothills. He's your leader. Still Green, then Mages, and Barker on the women's side. They're coming up to the halfway point on heat number 4 of 6. Great job on the guys' side. Finished by Ackerman going 9:31.02, followed by Tungate. And then Suggs to Sorbo. That was heat number 4. On the guy's side, heat number 5 and 9 in the water. On the women's side, heat number 4 is 6. Green and Mages. And Barker. Barker from Waynesboro. Not far behind Barker. Fishburne and Whitaker. Battling for third in this heat. So we on the men's side, heat number 5 of 9. Alex Muldowney in 1, Justin Vague 2. Ben Grado, 27th last year, he's in 3. Luke Finn, he's in lane number 4. He was 31st last year. Noah Dittmer, lane number 5. Elliot Myers, 6. Max Holdis, 28th last year's in 7. And Charlie Brown, your current leader, through 150 at 121.71 from York. He was 30th last year, is in lane number 8. We will be presenting the 1,000-yard freestylers with their awards tonight. So we will have one award ceremony. The 800 free relays awards will be held tomorrow night. So 1,000 awards will be given out tonight. 800 free relays tomorrow night. We have a couple swim-offs yet to come after the 800 free relays. So Brown in the on the men's side, Green on the women's side. York and Foothills. And anybody move up out of these heats into the top 16. They're giving it a go. They're trying to move up. Brown Fishburne and Whitaker. Owen Barker. So Charlie Brown leading on the men's side still, followed by Finn. And here on the women's course, moving up to the final 50 here down in lane number 8. Mary Green Foothills, not far behind Claire Mages from Phoenixville. Mary Green, Claire Mages, and it will be Mages going. Zippy time for her, comes in at 10:37, goes all the way down to 10:16. How about Green going 10:17.52 over her seat time at 10:39. Let's swim, ladies. Charlie Brown still leading on the guys' side. Halfway through. Good swim, ladies. In the water for the women. Heat number 5 is 6. Heat number 5 is 6 for the women in the water. Charlie Brown still leading the way at 5:41.80. As I mentioned, Charlie was 30 in this event last year. Brown, 6:10.73. Down 12 seconds off of his pace from last year's finish. But he comes in at 9:49.89. He keeps this up, he's going to be down in the 920s or lower. And on the women's side, Marika Ashworth in 1, Daniela Erickson 2, Eden Russell in 3, Peyton Phelan in 4, Ava Shopbell is in 5, Emily Cavill 6, Brianna LaForest in 7, and Isabel Hodem sitting out of lane number 8. Brown still your leader. "13 seconds ahead of his pace from last year. Get him into that low 930s for Charlie Brown. "14 seconds ahead. So Charlie swimming a great 1,000 here on night 1. Can he move up into the top 16? We shall see. Now it's Brown, then Finn, then Haltis. On your women's side, Eden Russell from Upper Mainline, leading the way. They were through the 250 mark there. Brown at 8:06. 15 seconds ahead of his pace with 150 to go. They're all having good swims. Finn and Haltis on pace to go lower. Brown takes the bell. Wow, 28:15 right there. 18 seconds ahead of his pace from last year. Going for the 930. Can he get there? Can he get it in at 930 for Charlie Brown? Can he get lower? Give him a wave and a whistle and a holler. Wow, he's going to be close. 930.52 for Charlie Brown. Great swim right there. We'll see if that moves him into the top 16. Or by Finn. Haltis. 942. But Charlie Brown coming out of 30th place last year, trying to move into that top 16 scores. Here we go, heat number 6 and 9 for the men in the water. Tommy Rockbow in 1. Sino in lane number 2. Colin Dickey 3, Kevin Ward 4. Stephen Stasiolatis in 5. Max Grand in 6. Corey Calderon in 7. Ryan Walter in lane number 8. The top time so far through 5 heats, 9:07.23. Kyle Burke, Kennett, Pennsylvania. Through the 500 here on the women's side. Heat number 5 is 6. Still Russell, 31.91, high 31s for Russell, out splitting the field. Russell, Phelan, and then LaForest. Russell, Phelan, and Shopbell on the women's side, over on the guys' side. Brand, Ward, and Dickey. And Dickey from Lakeland Hills. Kevin Ward, Somerset County, and Stasiolatis in lane number 5. But Grand in 6 from Boyertown is your leader. Russell, Phelan, and Shopbell still your leaders, heading up to the 30 length mark. So again, your top time for the women, Hanny Dickinson, 9:46.51 out of heat number 1. So again, we will be presenting the awards for the 1,000-yard freestylers tonight after we complete this event before the relays. Well, Max Grand, the 15-year-old from Boyertown, your leader on the guys' side, followed by Ward and then Dickey. Russell and Phelan and Shopbell, still your top 3. Out of heat number 5 on the women's side. Trying to move up. Odom in the forest. So less than 100 to go for our leader on the women's side. Eden Russell from the Upper Mainline YMCA. Russell takes the bell. Phelan from Jersey Shore following second. Odom now third from Cheshire. How about this swim? Eden Russell going 10:27.54 for Russell 15-second drop, followed by Phelan and Hodem. Hey, look at that, a tie after 1,000. Shot belt finishes fourth. He won't, oh, no, I'm sorry. Great swim. All right, great swim, ladies. In the water, heat number 6, final heat. Women's 1,000-yard freestyle is in the water. Peyton Cosi is in 2, Claire Shives in 3, Mary Ferrero in 4, Tessa DiGennaro in 5, Alexi Wint 6, Chloe Shives in lane number 7. Final heat, heat 6 of 6. Women's 1,000-yard freestyle. Once again, when the men's 1,000 is complete, we will present the award for the 1,000 freestylers tonight. Then we'll move into the relays, and then we have some swim-offs on the women and the guys' side in the medley relays. Andrew Geyser moving through. Ward, then Grand, only a second behind. Separating our leaders on the men's side. Greater Somerset County's Kevin Ward trying to be chased down by Max Grand from Boyertown, Pennsylvania. Bell out for heat 6 of the guys. Heat 6 of the girls in. And Kevin Ward hold off Grand. Looks like it'll be Ward. Ward, then Grand. There's your top two coming out of heat 6 on the men's side. 9:37.56 for Kevin Ward. Nice drop there, about 12 seconds. Grand goes to 9:38. About 13-second drop right there. Great swim by those guys. Number 7 of 9 in for the guys. Kenny Easton 1. Sosnowski in 2. Grayson DiMarino in 3. Josiah Pendergraph in 4. Ryan Shuppert 5. Daniel Bishop in 6. Joshua Kim 7. And Thompson Hoff in lane number 8. 7 of 9 for the guys. And over on the women's side, the leader, Fanwood Scotch Plains out of lane number 4. That's Mary Ferrero. Followed by Shives and then DiGennaro. on the women's side, there we are with Chloe Shives from York and York County. Bringing it home for the York and York County. 30. Followed by Wint. And Claire Shives. Yes, breakout swim here for Chloe Shives, the 15-year-old, in this final heat, the women's 1,000. And on the guys' side, Grayson Marino from Reading and Berks County, your leader. Pendergraph right next to him from Spartanburg. And then we've got Kim, there in New Britain, Berlin wide. I see our referee with the bell. Final heat here on the women's side. Chloe Shives from York and York County. 31.76 on that split. Here comes Ferrero. And it will be Chloe Shives. Nice swim right there, coming back. Oh, 10:35. And it'll be 10:36.41. Big time drop right there off of that seat time for Chloe Shives, followed by Ferrero, and then Claire Shives, the 13-year-old. Great swim. Great swim, ladies. That concludes our 1,000-yard freestyle for the women. They will be presented awards. We'll have those results out here momentarily on the women's side. Coming up, we'll be finishing the guys' side, then we'll be doing the awards. Once the guys are done, we will move to the women's awards and men's awards. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for all of those 1,000-yard freestylers on the women's side, putting in their work and getting your times. And guys, Di Mariano and Pendergraph. And it's Di Mariano going 9:33.30. Great swim. Grayson came in with a 9:53.92, so my math is correct. A little over 20-second drop off the seat time, followed by Pendergraph and then Hoff. Great swim, gentlemen. Heat number 8 of 9 for the men in the water. That's Andrew Williams, Pal Crosley, and Tiger Sharks. He's in lane number 1. Nick Tecchio, Lakeland Hills in 2. Ian Ryan, Ridley Rays. He's in lane number 3. Miles Burke, Metro Milwaukee. He's in 4. Reynolds Chilton, Greater Spartanburg in 5. Jack Scarrett, Yoda in 6. Jack McGurran, Sussex County in 7. And Joel Morgan, Rocky Mount. He's in lane number 8. I have the preliminary results from the women's 1,000-yard freestyle. Preliminary results. These are the top 16. So we will be presenting your awards tonight. So you'll be reporting to the awards ready room, which is located behind the awards podium. And here they are, preliminary results. 16 was Sealy, Deechweiler 15, Kirk 14, Kane 13, Ellis 12, Green 11, Magison 10, 9th was Silva, Webb 8, McNamara 7, Charette 6, Harlan 5th, Lyle 4th, Simpson 3rd, Ayers 2nd, and Dickinson in 1st. You will report to the awards ready room probably during heat number 9 of the men. I'll call you over there. Jack Scarrett out in front. Jack's from Yoda, comes in 9:56. This heat is pretty close in terms of the times. What we're seeing starting to separate right now. So with Jack Scarrett out there, up to there in lane number 1. Andrew Williams, another 15-year-old from the Tiger Sharks, Pound Crosley Jr., beautiful Cincinnati, Ohio area. Now running 3rd. And that's Ian Ryan from the Ridley Rays, just outside of Philadelphia. Keep our eye on these splits. Pretty good swims going on here. Now Garrett. Jax Garrett. Andrew Williams. Ian Ryan. Looks like they're coming up on the bell lap for Jax Garrett. 29:30. Can anybody catch him? 29:23 for Williams, moving up a bit. Ryan and Williams having some speed out there in 1 and 3. Kenny and Ryan chased out Williams, but it's going to be Jax Garrett. Here out of number 8. 9:43, followed by Ian Ryan. 26:67 closing speed for Ian Ryan. How about that for the Ridley Ray? Nice swim, gentlemen. Final heat, heat number 9 of 9, men's 1,000-yard freestyle. Lane number 1 from Phoenixville's Nathan Deeney. Number 2 from Greater Nashua, Jack White. Lane 3 from Upper Main Line, Ethan Lane. Terry Gould swimming out of lane number 4 for Fanwood Scotch Plains. Aiden Jalski from Yoda, he's in 5. Ella Alkin from Ridgewood in 6. And Braden Saunders from Ridley. He's in lane number 7. Final heat is in the water. Let's get our top 16. Top 16 for the women. 1,000-yard freestylers. Your top 16, please report to the awards ready room, which is located behind the awards podium. Thank you. Once again, top 16 women's 1,000-yard freestylers. Top 16 places, please report to the awards ready room. Please report to the awards ready room, top 16 women's 1,000-yard freestylers. We will be presenting those awards immediately following this final heat of the men's, heat number 9, in which Ethan Lane is your leader from Upper Main Line. And it's still Lane, 30.10. So moving up there, Gajowski. There's some 29s, Dini in white. And Aiken. Final heat, once again, calling the top 16 finishers. Top 16 finishers for the women's 1,000 freestyle. Please report to the awards ready room. The awards ready room located behind the awards podium. Top 16, we will be presenting your awards immediately following heat number 9, which is in the order on the men's course. Men's 1,000-yard freestyle. Things are tightening up. Lane. And then Gajowski. And up there in lane number 1 is Dini now moving up. Alkin running a close 4th right now. Again, 1,000 freestylers to the awards ready room on the women's side. Those results have been posted on the women's side. Once again, top 16 women, 1,000-yard freestylers to the awards ready room, please. Thank you. Top 16 to the awards ready room. Guzowski now your leader, followed by Lane and then Dini. These guys are splitting. Top 16 women, please report. We've got a few of you back here. We need to keep things moving, get you up on the podium. Gajowski, Lane, and Dini, not much separating the three. can catch Eden Gajowski from Yoda. Will it be Lane? Will it be Deanie? They're running 2-3. Once again, top 116 for the 1,000-yard freestyle for the women. Please report. Awards ready room. As the seat's over, we'll be calling for the top 16 of the men also. All right, gentlemen, finishing up here on this last 50, we've got a race. Gajowski, Elaine, Deanie. Bit of energy left here on this final heat. And it'll be Gajowski going 9:44.79. Great swim, followed by Lane and then Deanie out of that heat. All right, ladies and gentlemen, put your hands together for all of those 1,000-yard freestylers here. They were working it. Great to see them here on night number 1. We're going to have our awards being presented for the women's 1,000 here just in a few moments. They're looking good, so we will have them be presented. So we will need the coach from Metro Milwaukee, coach from Metropolitan Milwaukee to the awards podium area. It is movie week. Well, here come our women out for the 1,000. Your top 16 and presenting the awards will be the coach from the YMCA Metropolitan Milwaukee, finishing in 16th place from Greater Spartanburg, Susan Seeley. In 15th place from Oshkosh, Wisconsin, Kirsten Dietschweiler. 14th place from Upper Mainline, Lily Kirk. In 13th place from Upper Mainline, Whitney Kane. Finishing in 12th place from Farmington Valley, Michaela Ellis. In 11th place from the Foothills Area YMCA, Mary Green. In 10th place from Phoenixville, Claire Mages. In 9th place from Upper Mainline, Kaylani Silva. And finishing in 8th place from Lynchburg, Broughton Webb. Seventh place from Upper Mainline, Ellie McNamara. In sixth place from Greenwich, Allison Charette. In fifth place from the Upper Mainline YMCA, Morgan Harlan. In fourth place from Greater Spartanburg, Eva Lyle. In third place from the Upper Mainline YMCA, Megan Simpson. In second place from Piedmont, Megan Ayers. And your 2026 YMCA National Women's 1,000-yard freestyle champion with a time of 9:46.51 from the YMCA of Metropolitan Milwaukee, Ann Dickinson. Here we go. Bring them out. And the men's 1,000-yard freestylers. There they are. And presenting the awards for the men's 1,000-yard freestylers, the coach from Jennersville, Kelly Burke. Finishing in 16th place from Piedmont, Ben Tungate. In 15th place from Metropolitan Milwaukee, O'Reilly Burke. 14th place from Powell Crosley Jr., the Tiger Sharks, Augie Newberry. 13th place from Farmington Valley, Jack Ackerman. Finishing in 12th place from York and York County, Charlie Brown. In 11th place from the YMCA of the Triangle, Blake Zimmerman. 10th place from Upper Mainline, Brady Gallagher. In 9th place from Boise, Idaho, Ace Garcia. And finishing in 8th place from Piedmont, Eli Rutherford. In 7th place from Greater Somerset County, John Iodice. 6th place from Piedmont, Henry Smith. 5th place from York and York County, Damian Orfanidakis. 4th place from Piedmont, Braden King. Finishing in 3rd place from Chambersburg, Colin McCraw. In 2nd place from Piedmont, Will Charlton. And your 2026 YMCA Men's 1,000-yard freestyle national champion with a time of 9:07:23 from the Cannon area YMCA, Kyle Burke. Congratulations, gentlemen. Great job, athletes, on that 1,000. Are you ready? Relay time. We'll start on the men's side. Heat number 1 of 3, men's 800-yard freestyle relay. Referee. And over to the women's side, this will be heat number 1, women's 800-yard freestyle relay. One of form, Mr. Referee. All right, here we go. Relays in the water. Names are up on the board. Let's see who's out first. We've got on the men's side, Chambersburg in 1, Piedmont 2, Spartanburg in 3, Reading and Berks in 4, Milwaukee in 5. And Dawson's out 45-72. That's Dawson Walters. Metropolitan Milwaukee. Somerset County in 6, Van Wood in 7, Champaign County in 8. And over on the women's side, Spartanburg in 1, Cheshire 2, Upper Main Line 3, Milwaukee 4, Piedmont 5, Van Wood Scotch Plain 6, Lakeland Hills 7, and Jersey Shore in lane number 8. See what these times look like. Still Milwaukee. The second swimmer's in for Milwaukee. Sorry, first swimmer still in. It's Walters. Let's see what he splits. 136.61 for Dawson Walters. Now your second swimmer's in over there. McGraw in 1, Rutherford 2, back in row 3. Mariano 4, Hill 5. Eche in 6, McCourt 7, and Powell in 8. All right, women's side moving up. Here comes Ann Dickinson, our 1,000 champion for the night. What's she out in? 148.35. Milwaukee. On the men's side with Jude Hill in there. And on the women's side, Milwaukee with Maggie Dickinson. Still Milwaukee. On the women's side, and Lakeland Hills, and then Piedmont. And on the guys' side, it's Milwaukee with Brostowitz in there. Followed by Champaign County and Reading and Berks County. Halfway through on the women's side. Metro Milwaukee out at 336.13. Not far off of record pace. The women of York hold that record at 7:10.06. On the men's side, still Metro Milwaukee. Can anybody catch him? Out fast. Reading now moving up. Then Champaign County. Women's side. Amanda Lutz, 4:30.23. battle for third right now on the women's side. Piedmont. Still Metro Milwaukee. Then Lakeland Hills. Ready now, your leader on the men's side with Eisenhofer in. Anchor in on the women's side. 5:30-40. Milwaukee, Lakeland Hills, then Upper Main Line on the women's side, over on the guys' side. Still Reading. Greater Somerset County now moves into second. And then Milwaukee. Lakeland Hills with Orvets. Anderson in for Milwaukee. Now moving into third. Piedmont with Ayers. And on the guys' side, Reading at 6:37.18. Great swim. Heat 2 in for the men. Heat 1 finishing up for the women. Anderson. And it'll be Anderson for Milwaukee, followed by Lakeland Hills, and then the Jersey Shore. Little outside smoke on the Jersey Shore side for Orvets. Great swim, ladies. Heat 2 for the women in the water. 4 heats in total. Over on the guys' side. They're working their way through. Van Velzer for Wilton. The Wilton Wahoos has your lead right now coming out of heat number 2. Van Velzer at a 1:38.73. Great swim right there for the junior from Wilton, Connecticut. Iyer in for Wilton. Over here on the women's side, we got Campbell from Yoda leading the way, but not far behind. O'Donnell, Champaign County, and then Westport Weston with Gusson. William Reese rams up, Westchester University commit for York. Moving up, then Gallagher from Upper Main Line trying to chase down the Wilton Wahoos and Hershire. So Campbell Lang going to bring it in. Can she maintain that lead over O'Donnell? Still Wilton with her Shire, 26-20. Now moving up, William Reese. Brady Gallagher. York and Umley trying to chase down the Wilton Wahoos. Great swim right there for York with William Reese. Now they are your leaders. Carly Brown coming out of the 1,000. He's in there. Stingray Sanchez for Wilton running second. Ben Gacho for Umley swimming third. Second swimmers here, Aubrey Mitchell. Trying to open it up a little bit. Second and third on the women's side, very close. Not much separating those two teams. Champaign County and York with Lily Dorito. Dorito, the youngster at 13. Now we've got Kristen Sanchez Gomez pulling Wilton back in front. York second, Umley third on the men's side. Now moving up out of lane number 1. On the women's side, Upper Palmetto, Amelia Meehan. Ava Haas. Great swim right there. York. Then Upper Palmetto. Then Yoda. Andrews in for Wilton, still your leader. Still followed by York. Jersey Shore now moving up on the men's side. As your anchors are in there, Hall in for Jersey Shore. Ozzie Andrews for Wilton. Ty Weaver for York. And on the girls' side, moving through, still Wilton. And Andrews hold on. Trying to move up out of 2, Chris Hall. York, your leader down here on the women's side. Still Wilton. Andrews. Swim of his life here on night number 1. And it will be the Wilton Wahoos, followed by Lynchburg coming on strong. And then York, great swim, gentlemen. Lynchburg on that end was fantastic. Final heat on the men's side, heat number 3 of 3 in the water. And on the women's women's side. Finishing up here in heat number 2, York has your lead. Aveline Walsh, the WVU commit. $50 to go. Yoda following in second. Kyle Crosley in third. Westport Weston in fourth. Battle for second, third, and fourth. Who will grab that spot out of this heat? But great swim for York. And York girls, they finish up there at 7:28.10. Nice swim. And then Yoda pulls in second, and Westport Weston in third. Final heat for the guys in the water. This is heat number 3 of 4 for the women. Summer's names on the board. And on the men's side, it'll be Peter Forrest for the Ridley Rays. Coming up next, that was Patrick Hines, putting him in the lead on that final heat. Ridley. Followed by Farmington Valley, and then Cheshire. And heat 3 for the women in the water. Looks like Ridley out in front right here. Eric's next on a swivel. Right now, Ridley, Phoenixville, and Wilton in a race. Lucier, Lewis, and Peterson on the women's side. Great swim, Britton Lewis right there. And that 200. They're sizing them up. Wilton, Phoenixville, Ridley on the women's side. Over on the men's side, it's like Farmington Valley and Ridley. Lakeland Hills. Very even here. Will Wilton take the lead now? Yeah, they're still in second with Abby Horton. Sellers, your leader for Phoenixville. And then Reno for Ridley. Who will have this coming up? Wilton, great swim here for Abby Horton. Pulling away from the field. Well, look at this split. Abby goes 28-22 coming home. Wow. Greensboro now in second on the women's side. On lane 8, so 7 and 8. Your two leaders, Wilton, Greensboro, followed by Ridley. Over the guide side, still Ridley. Farmington Valley. Then Racine. The race, not much separating Ridley and Farmington Valley on the men's side. And moving up, Racine out of lane number 8. Greensboro, now your leader on the women's side, followed by Wilton. And for the first time, Wyckoff in the mix. Liz Hill, Molly Cruiser, Addison Dispo. That's another Westchester commit. Still Greensboro and Wilton and Ridley on the women's side and on the guys' side now. Farmington Valley, Boise, then Cheshire. Let's see, in lane number 1. We are just about even on the women's side. Ridley, now your leader, followed by Greensboro, then Wilton. Only 0.12 of a second was separating those 3 teams. And a great swim for the guys with Farmington Valley, followed by Cheshire, then Boise. All right, we'll have those men's result out soon. Those awards will be presented tomorrow evening. Tomorrow evening, the 800 relays will be presented. And here we go. In your heat number 3 of the women. Ridley with McGann. Going to be Towson Tiger. And you got Conjutera from Wilton. Smith from Greensboro. They're trying to move up. Can Conjutero chase down Sarah McGann? We saw McGann in the 1,000 earlier. Who will be there? Can Conjutera chase it down? Who's going to take 50 to go? Now it's Wilton, followed by Ridley. Greensboro trying to move up out of lane number 1 for the women's side. Springfield also making a move. Wyckoff. But Wilton, who's great last anchor for Vita Conjutera, followed by Ridley, and then we'll get into 3rd, Phoenixville. Great swim, ladies. Final heat. Women's 800-yard freestyle relay is in the water. With the Woodson Y in 3, YMCA of the North Shore in 4, And Central Bucks, Pennsylvania in lane number 5. Swimmers' names on the board. Final heat for the women. Men's, we'll have your results out here momentarily. Once again, the 800 Freestyle Relay Awards will be presented at the beginning before the meet starts tomorrow evening. 800 Freestyle Relay Awards Top 16 will be presented before the meet starts tomorrow night. Central Bucks, your early leader. We'll be swimming a men's 200-yard medley relay swim-off. That'll be for the A final in just a few minutes on the guys' side. We'll get that start time here momentarily. Oh, it's Woodson, then Central Bucks. And why the North Shore? Good swims put in there off that lead length by Glennicki, Tramontosi, and Durant. In the water right now, we've got out of lane number 3 is Leon, Reitz in 4, and Pfaff in 5. Central Bucks now moving up with Elliott Pfaff in the pool. (15 years old. Central Bucks Regional Y. Beautiful Bucks County, Pennsylvania. And we're halfway through. Central Bucks, leader. Got Isla Berger in 3 for Woodson. Caroline Curtin for the Y of the North Shore. She's in 4. Cami Martin, Central Bucks. She's in lane number 5. Now trying to move up is Caroline Curtin from the North Shore, having a pretty good swim right now. So Y the North Shore now your leader here in this final heat. We'll be staging that swim off here momentarily for the men's 200-yard medley relay. between York and York County and Wilton. That's coming up. That'll be for a chance to swim in the A final tomorrow night. We do have a swim off after the women's 800 relay. That'll be 5 minutes after this heat has been completed. Y the North Shore moving up on the anchor lap. The anchor leg in the water. And your anchors are in. Grace on for Woodson in lane 3. Jenna Whitaker for Y the North Shore in 4. Lizzie Downey coming out of lane number 5 for Central Bucks. Once again, we'll be staging for that swim-off, men's 200-yard Medley relay. Chance to swim in the A final, gentlemen. Swim off for the men's 200-yard medley relay. Mr. Referee. Once again on the men's course, this is a swim off for an opportunity to swim in lane number 8 of the championship final tomorrow. And a great swim right there out of North Shore. Nice finish followed up by Central Bucks. York and York County, Wafanadakis in the water right now is Reese and Jacobson. These two teams were 1:32.52 earlier today. Pretty good splits right there. Gomez and Torres, 1/10 of a second separating these two teams. Roman Torres. .23 of a second. Hershire in for Wilton. Ty Weaver for York. Chance to swim in the A final. And it will be York. 21:03 on the final leg, 1:32.70 for those guys. They were just over where they were this morning, so I should say earlier this afternoon, but good swim. Looks like unofficially York will move to the A final. Wilton will swim in lane 4 of the B final. Great swim. Next up will be staging our women's 200 medley relay swim off. This will be for a chance to swim in the B final. It's swim-off time. Women's 200-yard medley relay. Swim-off for 16th place, Mr. Referee. Here we are, women's 200-yard medley relay. It's the first time I've seen this happen. 16th place swim-off, 8th place swim-off on the guys' side. Here are our women. Illustrator for Pal Crosley, Dylan, Leonis for Greater Somerset County. And it's the Tiger Sharks out first. 26:01. Going out. They were 146.64. Once again, win this heat. You get lane number 8 in the B final. Breaststrokers in. Altus and Daniels. And it looks like it'll be Somerset County now, your leaders. Friars in, Hardy and Lau. Harley for the Tiger Sharks, Pal Crosley, Cincinnati, Ohio. Greater Somerset County, New Jersey. Evening it up as expected. Not much separating those two. Pretty good swim right there. We got Roos and Pontorero. Only 1,600 separating. Here we go, chance to swim in the B final. And it will be Somerset County. As they will hold down lane number 8. Going 145.06 coaches. 145.54 for the Tiger Sharks. Improving their time. Great job, ladies. We're going to see everybody back here tomorrow morning. Great night of swimming. Once again, we'll be presenting the awards for the 800 relays tomorrow night. So have a great evening. You're heading over to the Athletes Welcome Dinner. Please do so immediately. See you all tomorrow. Have a great night.
What moves you move